Manchester United embarrassed, humbled, ripped apart, torn to shreds, destroyed by Brentford 4-0, 4 goals in 34 minutes. And I am broken as a Manchester United fan. I want to first of all start by saying congratulations to Brentford. They were brilliant today. They deserve the 3 points. Their growth in the Premier League and their growth over the past decade has been sensational. Man United today, a shambles. Man United today, an embarrassment. Man United today, with the worst performance I've seen from them, I think in my lifetime. And we've had some bad ones in the last 9 years. This is the worst. Lissandro Lannister being being bullied at the back, being out-muscled. Maguire, his unsure self. David De Gea with another, for his catalogue of errors, how he still remains in the Man United squad, in the Man United team, is an abomination in itself. Dalot proving he ain't good enough. Luke Shaw, again, looking overweight, tired, slow. Dropping McTominay, proving to be pointless. Not because McTominay would have made us better, but focusing on him and McFred as the reason why we're bad is crazy. But the new midfield, awful. Eriksen, the new signing, awful. Rashford, non-existent. Ronaldo, not ready, non-existent. Sancho is a bum. The performance today from these Manchester United players lacked any kind of work ethic, any kind of mentality. It lacked any kind of togetherness. It was an absolute abomination. An absolute abomination. The lack of coherence, the lack of togetherness, the lack of formation, the lack of ability, the lack of technical prowess on the pitch didn't exist. Every single element of Man United's game today was shocking. Every single element of Man United's performance deserved to lose 4-0, deserved to be beat, deserved to be battered, deserved to be destroyed. Without a shadow of a doubt. One of the very worst performances that I have ever seen in my life from Manchester United. Passing off, positioning off, fight missing. Brentford run 11 kilometers more than Manchester United in the opening 18 minutes. 11 kilometers more. 11 kilometers more. But we know where the real problem here lies. We know where this has stemmed from. And it's the way we run as a football club. And everything that I've been talking about on the terrace is coming to fruition again and again and again and again. Sacking Ollie, sacking Jose, sacking LVG, sacking Moyes, dropping Fellaini, selling Wayne Rooney, getting rid of Pogba, dropping McTominay this week. We do all these little things and nothing ever gets better. And it's because the club is drenched, saturated in mediocrity. The Glazers and the way they operate, the standards that they have instilled upon this football club have evaporated any ability for us to create quality. They've taken away any chance this club has got as getting back to the top. But Man United fans are now massively to blame as well. You can look at the tactics that I'm sure there'll be YouTubers focusing on tactics. YouTubers focusing on why didn't this person start? There'll be YouTubers focusing on the formation, the patterns of play. Oh, we should have bought. Why don't we go and buy this guy in the transfer market? Like De Jong is going to make us any better. De Jong ain't going to make us run more. De Jong isn't going to make us work harder. That's what's failing at this club. I keep telling you all. This isn't about ability. Brentford and Brighton don't have more ability than Man United's players. They don't. We believe they don't because we're told it's all ability, tactics, patterns of play. No. It's how hard you work. Brighton run us off the park. Brentford run us off the park, outworked us, outthought us, outmuscled us. The work rate is key. Even if you have less ability, you've got to add the ability to the work rate that is already there. But Man United fans are becoming the problem here. Man United fans have created this issue. Let me rephrase that. Man United fans have exasperated the issue created by the Glazers because we continue to fund. We continue to give these people money. Now, if you're a Man United fan and you want to give the club your money, fair play to you. I respect that to a degree. But stop moaning about the way the club is run. Stop moaning about these performances that we saw today. Stop acting like you care about the club. Manchester United have fallen from grace. Man United are an abomination. Man United was founded in 1978. It's called Newton Heath was the name of the football club, by the working class workers of the carriage and wagon department of a railway I forget the name of now. It might have been Lancashire Railway, something like that. Yorkshire Railway, maybe a combination of the two. This was a club built by the working classes. And it's been infiltrated by these billionaires that care about one thing and one thing only, and that is making money. And every time a Man United fan buys a shirt, buys a sponsor's product, goes to a game, buys a program, subscribes to MUTV, plus a plethora of other things, you are funding this mediocrity. These players, I'm going to go through this now, these players will get Ten Hag sacked. What will happen on social media is fans will turn upon Ten Hag before they properly turn upon the Glazers. There'll be a protest and people will tweet Glazer out, but they'll continue to fund the club. The Glazers only care about making money. So what does it matter if you protest? If at the same day as the protest, you go in the ground and you give him your money, you buy your beer, you buy your program. It's nonsensical. Absolutely nonsensical. These players will down tools for this manager as well. I'm already seeing it. They are not prepared to run the hard yards needed to make Ten Hag's style of football work. You'll hear pundits talk about maybe the quality of the player isn't there. Maybe if they spend more money, maybe if they do X, Y, or Z, none of it's going to work. How do I know that? Because we're 9 years into this. And every single time this has happened, and if you actually look at the pattern, each manager, quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker in the last three, have we thrown the manager under a bus? Every time it's become quicker. Look what they did to Ralph. And I watched this game today and just thought to myself, there's no way they're that bad in terms of ability. We couldn't pass a ball. We couldn't track a man. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But every time I say sacking a manager isn't going to make us better, I'm called an idiot and I don't know ball, and I'm right. Every time I say dropping him and playing him won't make us any better, it's right. Every time we sell him and buy this new guy, we don't get any better. It's a nonsense. It isn't per se about buying players, selling players, better managers, worse managers. It's about the standards instilled at the football club. The Glazers don't care. The board don't care. Other than making money, they care about nothing. The players know this and they don't care. They are just willing to pick up that paycheck. Look at Rashford as a prime example. PSG are interested. He's basically saying, I'll go PSG if you don't give me a pay rise. Man United are going to roll over and go, oh, okay. Oh, there's your money. Oh, yes, sir, no, sir, free bag full, sir. What message does that send across the dressing room? Man United is rotten to the core. Rotten, stinky, nasty. And do you know what we do? Instead of ridding ourselves of the rot, getting rid of the problems, getting rid of the people, changing the standards, we just go out and buy brand new bits of, say you've got a rotten roof, all right? And you've got a bit of rot there and a bit of rot there. You have to remove that rotten wood before you instill the replacements. We don't. We just hammer it next to the rotten wood. Inside a few weeks, few months, the new wood is rotten. And that is what we're going to do to our new signings. That is what we're going to do to Erik Ten Hag. And I genuinely mean what I'm about to say. I genuinely mean this. Erik Ten Hag, tonight, you must walk. Not because you're not good enough. Not because I don't think you can't make us play better. But this club is going to destroy you. This club is going to rip you apart. Erik Ten Hag, walk out of Manchester United tonight and don't be part of this circus. You know, do not be. I'm seeing Man United fans with banners in the ground saying Glazers out. You just gave them your money. What? It's ridiculous. Absolutely, fundamentally ridiculous, in my opinion. Ten Hag, walk away. Get yourself out of this football club because they are going to hang you out to dry, both the owners and these insubordinate, lazy, egotistical prima donna players. They're going to hang you out to dry. Both groups. It's going to happen. The last 2 games, we have been outplayed. I'm not denying we haven't been outplayed, but we've been outplayed because we haven't been first to the ball. We've been outplayed because we didn't want it. We've been outplayed because we didn't have the muscle, the strength, the speed, the fitness, desire. On ability, listen, Brentford and Brighton both have players in their squads that are very technically gifted. There's no doubt. Their managers are very good. You know, Frank and Potter, very, very good managers. But we can't string 2 or 3 passes together. We have no confidence. And that's all in the head. Man United are a dead club. Man United are a finished club. Man United will never, ever get back to the standards we want while this ownership runs the club in this way. And until that changes, it doesn't matter who we buy or what manager comes in. I spent the summer towing the party line to a degree. Going, okay, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to look at the things that might change, the new things we may be doing in the market. Nothing. The first 2 signs of trouble, Ronaldo and Rashford, we roll over and tickle their bellies. The first two games we play where we get under a little bit of pressure, the players bottle it and walk away. No fight. What you see on the football pitch is a manifestation of how the football club is run. And Manchester United, as I've stated before, is rotten and is broken and is never, ever going to return. Not with the way we are run. I don't care who our manager is. I don't care who the players are until there's fundamental change at the center, at the heart of this football club. It is dead. And I'm sorry to sound like that guy, but I told you all. I told you sacking Ollie wouldn't fix us. I told you sacking Jose wouldn't fix us. I said abusing Pogba wouldn't fix us. Dropping McTominay don't fix us. Wishing cancer on Fellaini didn't fix us. Wanting Rooney sold didn't fix us. Rashford on the left, Rashford on the right. Martial on the left, Martial on the right doesn't fix us. The low in, the low out doesn't fix us. Shaw in, Shaw out doesn't fix us. New players in, new players out doesn't fix us. Why does nothing fix us? I keep seeing on Twitter, but Sarah, they spend money. They spend money. They're backing your manager. They're spending money. No, they're not. They're not backing the manager. They run the club poorly. This is if you can debunk this example, I'll give someone £20,000 cash live tonight in the air. My kids are hungry and I buy them a Ferrari. What fucking good is that? Debunk that point. I swear on my kid's life, I'll give you 20 grand cash. I'll transfer it to you. It's in the bank account now. I'll give it to you. My life savings gone. Because I'm sick and tired. I don't mind rivals. Rivals are going to say we've got good owners. I'm sick and tired of seeing Man United fans say, but they're not that bad. I saw United fans all summer saying, you know, the Glazers, they're not really that bad, are they? Yes, they are. They're atrocious. And I'm not going to sit here. You guys can come on and say what you want. I'm going to respect that. It's your opinions. You're allowed to give your opinions on the terrace. We're not an echo chamber. But to blame, like, how are we going to keep talking formation? Are we going to keep talking, why is this player being played and not him? Listen, David De Gea, he's shot. He should be gone. But how much more can we talk about that under 3 different managers before we look at the people running the football club that are making the decisions to keep him? Why? It's weird to me, bruv. It's proper weird to me to keep talking managers and players when they're not the ones letting us down. You see them letting us down because they're the ones that we see visually. But look beyond that. Look beyond the end of your nose. Please. This football club is done. I'm bringing my little panel out in a minute. We're going to share the link as well for you guys to come on and have your say. But this is just horrendous. Absolutely, categorically horrendous. Super chats here. Coming from a Chelsea fan, I feel for you, Terry, is what Moose Wizard has got to say. Bottom of the league, I fear for us. Listen, I'm going to say this now. Clip this up. I want Man United to get relegated. I want Man United to go bankrupt. I want Man United to be completely destroyed because it may be the only way we get rid of these owners and can actually rebuild. Maybe then fans will wait. I thought after the way Ralph was treated by the players, the fans would wake up and see the true problem at the club. They didn't. Maybe it's going to take relegation and bankruptcy for fans to actually wake up and smell the coffee and do something tangible for this club. Terry, you can't always predict as football fans, but cough. Rance knows nothing about football. At least you say it how it is. Listen, Rance knows about football. He does. People have just got a different view. But surely no Man United fan is going to be on socials tonight saying that if we drop him and play him and change to this formation, we're fixed. Surely now the penny has dropped. I will share the link in a minute, my friend. United's third kit should be orange. There are a bunch of traffic cones. I don't think there's a way back. Listen, it looks hopeless right now as far as I'm concerned. Man United are rotten to the core. The Glazers in, you will never, with the Glazers in, you'll never change. But but let's be real, those players are so bad. Ten Hag will be thrown under the bus soon enough. And when you say bad, listen, there are players in there that lack quality. I know that, and that's what people do. They'll pick, oh, you're saying that McTominay's got good ability. No, I'm not saying McTominay's got good ability. Are we saying Jadon Sancho is as bad as he looks? Come on, he looks terrible. But I think it's all up there. It's all up there. Every single part of it is up there. The new players have come in. Eriksen looks shit. Eriksen doesn't look like Christian Eriksen. He looks lost. Hey, Terry, Arsenal and TFT fan here. I came to say sorry about Man United today. You deserve better. I'm glad people like because they have to eat their words. Listen, every single I don't know if KJ's done this. I don't know where KJ is right now. I want every single Ollie Outer on this show tonight. You've got to answer for your crimes because people like you are the reason that we're in this situation. And I don't care how harsh that sounds. It's the truth. When people like me, people like Neeks, we're sitting there going, guys, just stop focusing on the managers and focus on the way the club is run. No, it's the manager. Wrong, 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 wrong. Did Ten Hag miss a beat using Martinez at centre back or left back? Listen, I mean, I saw Gary Neville say that he was too short in the goal he conceded. Ben Mee was on the floor. Like, I don't think it had anything to do with his height. He mistimed his run. We didn't get beat with any crosses in the air today, the goals. I didn't really get the height thing. It's the pace of the league he ain't ready for yet. And that is a Ten Hag mistake. And this is what will happen. There are mistakes from Ten Hag within these overall problems. But as soon as we have some adversity, Man United players revert to type and go backwards. That's what's happened in my very, very humble opinion, my friend. Let's go to some more of these comments here. Eric Ten Hag out is what I think you're trying to say there. The Glazers at the wheel. How does it feel? No. Thank you very much for the banter. Eric 10-0 is what Jimmy says. That's going to happen against Liverpool, by the way. Man United 5-0 incoming against Liverpool. Listen, I don't even want to think about that game right now. Honestly, they're going to batter us. Nav says, I was Ronaldo, I'd be like, I have one chance at the World Cup and club level to win a trophy, and I'd leave United. Eric has not got a clue. Let's be real. He can't fix it. United is a commercial club. I can see United in the relegation battle. Hopefully, Eric Ten Hag has finally learned that any player under 6 foot can't play centre back in England. Bruno needs the bench. Donny van der Beek and Martinez to play midfield. Eric Ten Hag is playing Eriksen out of position. He is picking Maguire over Varane, Rashford over Alanga, and Shaw over Malacia. He is getting himself sacked, is what's been said there. And you're entitled to that opinion. I'm going to bring out Neeks, My Dizzy, and Sunshine, but I'm going to share the link as well for you guys to call in and have your say. I'm missing some of these super chats here. Sorry. David De Gea should have been binned years ago. Warwick Davis would be more commanding presence between the sticks than that imposter, is what's been said there. Yeah, I hear you on that, my friend. He's shocking. Is Ollie still holding us back with his PE teaching? Again, all that nonsense about PE teaching. And I'm not defending Ollie. This is the point. It's not about defending a manager or anybody. It's about looking at the root cause and real problems at Manchester United. My Dizzy's joining us now, along with Neeks as well. We're going to share the link for you. Smash that like button, people. If we hit 1,500 likes, I'm going to gift away 50 memberships for you because you are still our viewers and I've got to do that. Let's go. Gents, another painful day as Manchester United fans. Give me your thoughts and feelings. Neeks first.
Can you hear me good, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Listen, Terry, you said a lot of what I was talking about. I can't say too long. I'm actually at a barbecue today, but I thought I have to show my face because you know how the football terrorist fans, the commenters go, they'll be like Neeks hiding and all that kind of stuff. So I have to show my face, even if briefly. What you said is 100% what we've been saying since pre-Jose being sacked. To focus on the manager, if anybody's doing that, is naive at worst, at best, foolish at worst. This issue at Manchester United has been going on for so long that to pin it down to individuals, a manager here, a coach here, an assistant manager, a player. I saw a super chat. Of course, it was from a Liverpool fan. Fair enough. If he's playing Rashford over Elanga. Elanga was getting slated last year at the same time when I was saying, well, how are you going to slate the one man who's trying in the team? We cannot put this down to the individual here, individual there. The club as a whole is broken from top to bottom. And changing one thing in one short period of time is never going to fix. And as a matter of fact, changing a lot of things whilst the owners remain in charge is never going to end with us being 100% successful. That's the real bottom line. As far as this game goes, this result, how the start of the season has gone, we deserve this. These players deserve this result. If anything, we might need this result. Need this result as a fan base to open our eyes to the agendas that we may have for certain players over certain players, one manager over another, one coach over another, one assist. Open our eyes to what's really going on at Manchester United. That 2-1 defeat to Brighton, as bad as it was, it masked some certain issues because it's only 2-1. Next time, maybe we can get a win. No, this 4-0 was coming. We only lost 4-0 at the back end of last season. So this 4-0 is Manchester United through and through. We lost 5-0 and 4-0 to Liverpool last year, 4-1 to Leicester, 4-1 or 4-2, I can't remember what it was, to Watford. This is Manchester United. And the sooner that Ten Hag realizes that, to put it bluntly, these players are treacherous. These players, like Roy Keane said time and time again, will get you sacked. And as a fan base, as a whole, we cannot trust these players. So forget your agendas and talking about, well, let's drop this person. Ronaldo don't want to be here, so get rid of him and bring Martial in. Or Rashford wants to go, all right, bring Elanga in. It's not going to change. The issue at this club is from top to bottom. We had 58 points last year. Lost Matic, Pogba, and a bunch of other players. And I've bought one player who the manager class, two, that a manager class is starting quality in Martinez and Eriksen, and one was on a free transfer. If you can't see that as the issue, that we're actually going backwards, we've lost players, and we haven't even replaced them at a time when we needed to add to the players we had. If you can't see that as the main issue, as the overarching issue, then what are we really doing here? So I'm watching this game. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad watching the game. It's laughable. It's laughable because we said on the top six, so Terry, I couldn't see us beating Brentford today. I'm not going to say I expected to lose 4-0 down in 35 minutes, but we were never going to beat Brentford today because Brentford are a team. Brentford are a club who are actually trying to get somewhere. We are a club that are just existing. We're existing in name and we're existing in actuality. And it's only because of the individual quality we've had over the last few years why we are seemingly in a position that is deemed, salvageable. 6th place, 5th place, 4th place. It's salvageable. But in reality, we're a horrible club. We are finished until things change at the top. And I don't think the discussion going much further than that, for me, is a moot point. Because
I hear that completely. I mean, there's a tweet from Darren Lewis, right? And I want to read this out. Darren Lewis has said, Spurs must be laughing their socks off that United were so unwilling to be challenged upstairs and on the pitch. So they turn their noses up at Conte. I get why he says that Spurs would be laughing, but even if Conte came in, we wouldn't have got better because he'd have just walked out because they wouldn't change.
Exactly.
People aren't listening to, and this is why. I mean, I've had
Conte's not changing the Glazers. He's not that powerful.
Exactly. That the only people that can change the Glazers are the fans because the only thing they care about is money, and we keep giving them our money. And I've had some YouTubers and our Sky Sports contributors having to pop up my rant earlier. And yeah, my rant might have been, they're a bit like, oh, there's bigger problems in the world. Why are you so angry? Listen, this is a working class club built by a local community in Manchester that came a local, national and international phenomenon, which is a beacon to a lot of people. It's a place to, go to at the end of a hard week or during the middle of a tough week to kind of a little bit of escapism. And yes, there's an element of we want the glory, we want the trophies back. But Man United fans just want to feel part of something that's run well, that makes them feel good, that's competitive. And you can go, oh, we've got a chance this week. I can take losing. I could always take losing, but I can't take the way we're being run. And they are spitting in the face of every person that built the club and every person around the world that has fallen in love with the football club. And I keep hearing this again. Let's bring it. John will fix it. Okay, De Jong will be better on the ball in the middle, but he ain't gonna make 10 other players play better. It's a fallacy until the club is fixed in the middle, and the only way that's done is if the Glazers change. Are the Glazers going to change? No. What do we need to do? Get them out. But whilst the stadium's still full, nothing's going to happen. Sky Sports spent 1 week speaking about the Glazers, and there was a bit of pressure. It's going to disappear. What you'll get by the pundits in the next 24 hours will be Martinez is too short. The player's being played out of position. Does Dutch coaching really work in the Premier League again? That's all you're going to hear. You're not going to hear about the Glazers. Sunshine, what you saying, bro?
Yo, big up yourself first and foremost, Terry. Oh God. I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I'm not going to repeat exactly what you've said, and I'm not going to repeat what Nix has said, because then we're just like idiots. We're like absolute idiots. For me, I'll speak for me and me only. I'll say exactly what I said 2 seasons ago. I would much rather us be relegated knowing the Glazers will sell tomorrow. Relegate me now, knowing the Glazers sell tomorrow, I'm happy, I'm cool, I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't care. I know there'll be a bunch of fan bases who can't handle that. I know there'll be a bunch in the fan base who'll be like, no, but we could try this and try. No. You got a flat fucking tire that needs changing, and all you're doing is changing fucking puncture kits. That's all you're doing. And you're buying a different puncture kit because it's got a fucking green label on it going, yeah, well, the manager needs a green label, and it gives you maybe an extra minute on your fucking cycle. Change the fucking tire. Change the tire. That's it. That is simply it. But this fan base have been told, yeah, that there's no tires. We can't change the tyre, we're stuck with them forever, so you're going to have to believe in these little puncture kits we give you. And the puncture kit could be a manager, a player, a coach, director of football, whatever. Whatever. It's the same bullshit over and over again. I'm done talking about the performance. For rival fans, Brentford, well done, you actually deserve the 3 points. I don't care about winning or losing to this level. It's gone beyond that now. I came off Twitter, I came off Spaces the moment I actually stopped investing my time into Manchester United, creating content in whatever angle, after the Everton game. When I sat there and said, these players don't even want to play for me. And I thought, you know what? Forget me, the fan. Forget the club. Forget the badge. Forget the history. Can you play football for yourself? No. So why do I expect these players with this mindset? This mindset is literally a direct link to how we are owned. And I know that some people, I don't get a rival fans, cool. It is what it is. Like, you can have your banter, you meant to have your banter. Man United fucking made you butthurt for how many long years? We're expecting it back. It's your time, take it. But for the Man United fans that are listening, who don't understand that this mindset that is on this field extends from here. You have owners that don't care the same way the fans care. They don't care about football, period. It no matter. Done. They don't care. They're employing people who also don't care or also don't have any knowledge to the high standards that we expect. That mindset is getting trickled down to the next lot who are then buying the same players that they, again, don't have the right mindset. Incompetent in doing their job, selecting the right profile of player. They don't care. And then we're stuck with Maguire's been here for 3 seasons. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, Joe Hart. I'll give you a chance, my brother. Didn't work out. Bravo. Didn't work out. Flipping Edison. Okay, there's my keeper. Cool. You tell me a player at Manchester United that we've bought for stupid money that have literally not been good enough, and we've gone, you know what, I need to sell you next season, mate. Not good enough. Cut our losses. We can't do it. That puts pressure on every single player that comes in that they have to succeed. Bear in mind, the scouting's not been done correctly. The player coming in isn't good enough. Or if it's a first choice, it's a commercial signing. A signing that brings them money and not actually puts it onto the pitch. Then we're stuck with them. To the point where they run down their contracts. They haven't been playing good enough. So at the same time, when you look at it, you're like, Oh wow, well, how are we going to sell this guy on? How are we going to get this guy moved on? Who's going to want to buy him? Pops, I'm on the phone, man. Hold up. Pops,
I hear you on that.
all right, lock off the door, man. But yeah, you get my point, right?
Dizzy, what are you saying, mate? I mean, I know the performance was bad today, but what's going on, bro?
So there's a million things that I could say. TFT, that Man United show coming soon on Twitch. Everybody check that out, because there is a million things that we could say about what's wrong with United at the moment. I think small picture, I think Ten Hag was a little bit naive today. And I think we was bound to get some bumps and bruises on the way, as far as him learning the league and the best way to win games in the league. Because if you look at the lineup, I even said in the group chat, this team looks real lightweight to me. This team looks real technical, but real lightweight. And that's what happened. They got bullied at basically all over the pitch, and they decided that they're not having it. They folded, they crumbled within 10. Look, I'm at a barbecue right now as well, Neeks, which is hilarious. Yeah, so I came upstairs. I missed the first goal. So I missed like 10 minutes, came upstairs, and by the time I got upstairs, we was already 1-0 down. And I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be one of them. And within 5 minutes of me watching, you saw the second goal. That's not a team that's bad. That's a team that's not having it today. And so that's the small picture. Ten Hag got his lineup wrong. He got the strategy wrong, and he kind of made up for it at halftime, because we seemed a little bit better. Obviously, the game was already gone. The confidence was already shot, and like I said, the game was done by then. So that's one thing. Big picture, I think you like what Neeks said, what Sunshine said, what Terry said is perfect. I think we've been on this roller coaster too long to say that we've been on this roller coaster way too long to say that any one manager, any one player, any team that's put out is the problem, because who at this point that where we're at is the people that are allowing the people that are making these decisions to keep making the same decisions. That's whose fault it is. It's not Maguire's fault that he's captain and having a stinker after stinker. It's whoever allowed him to be captain. It's not De Gea's fault that he's at the club since 2011. I'm willing to wager that De Gea might be the longest serving player in any team in the top 6. I might be willing to wager that. I don't know that for a fact, but I can't think of a team that has a player from 2011 across 4 different managers. And that is symptomatic of the people higher up allowing these decisions to be made. McTominay is 26 years old. I'm the same age as McTominay. We should have seen that this kid ain't good enough from early and got rid of him. But we've allowed him to have stinker after stinkers. And so, yeah.
And this is the thing that bothers me the most about it, boys. So someone quote tweeted my little rant earlier. He's a City fan called Ollie, and says, "Of course, it's the Glazers' fault for spending a shit ton of money, but your players not being useless. Just shut up." And this is the problem. Some rivals just say it to be funny. Some don't know anything about Man United. They don't study the club, so they just go, "Well, you've spent £900 million on players. It's not on the Glazers." The problem with spending 900 million and why it's so hard to move people on are these 2 reasons. We fluctuate between managers and styles each time rather than having a cohesive club style. So the new manager comes in, and we know for a fact Ten Hag is looking at this squad and going, I need 15, 20 players gone, which was the reason why you guys were all there. I said a rebuild will be disastrous for us in the short term. But it's happening now, so I'm kind of behind the idea of a rebuild. However, what you've seen straight away from this group of players is they don't want to put that work in. My anger is more because what will happen before the Glazers turn around and go, do you know what, in January, like the Glazers should be coming out now and saying, do you know what, even if we have to finish in the bottom half of the table, we are going to see this manager through. We are going to rid everyone at the club that doesn't want to work hard for him. We will become successful again. That's what they should be saying and doing, but they won't. They will bow down to social media fan pressure and the commercial players at the club, and they will sack the manager before anything else happens. Then what happens is a new guy comes in and they have to spend more money again. But you can't get rid of all the old deadwood because they're on too much money and nobody wants them. And you end up in this situation where you hemorrhage money, have a bloated squad of players that are more powerful than any manager at the football club. And for me, until that's fixed, we never get any better. But nobody wants to hear that because it's really boring. What rivals especially want to hear is you saying your manager's shit, your new signings are shit. That's fun and it's fashionable. But that isn't the problem at Manchester United. It goes so beyond that and it's so much deeper. And every Man United content creator, every Man United fan on social media is not pushing that narrative. You are a Glazer. You are doing their bidding. I've said there's Danny Devlin in the details. I love Danny Devlin in the details. But the way he defends Man United over the stories that we didn't get rejected by Darwin Núñez. Bruv, why are you doing the Glazers work, man? We did. We did. We would have signed Darwin Núñez if Man United had maintained their standards from Fergie and gone to another level over the last 10 years. Núñez is picking us over Liverpool. But why doesn't he? Because of how far we've fallen. That's why he rejected us. It's still a rejection, though. And everyone buys into the PR all the time and the nonsense. And listen, I understand giving it a bit of time, but we ain't even playing better football yet. And the likes of Rashford, get yourself to PSG, my old mate. Get yourself out of this football club. I don't care how good a footballer you are. You don't want to really be here. And if he does stay, we're going to put him on 350 grand a week before he's even proved he can kick a ball again. This club's an absolute joke.
I was going to say, Neji said in terms of what the likes of City, Pep were able to do in terms of with the players that didn't succeed under him and they were able to get them out quickly. Our managers, and this is going back, we're talking Oli, we're talking Jose, Van Gaal to an extent as well. Obviously, Moyes only made 2 signings. But each manager that comes in is forced to work with the failures of the previous manager. Not the successes, not that there have been many successes, but the failures. They're literally forced to work with them and expected to be better. So if this bunch of players here outlast Ten Hag, we're done.
It's
finished. It's done. Like, it's Ten Hag, and of course, I'm to an extent, I'm going a bit beyond because Man United would exist as a club forever. But Manchester United, it has to be fixed or start to be fixed under Ten Hag. If it goes backwards under Ten Hag, I can't even see the light at the end of the long tunnel. These players cannot outlast Ten Hag. They can't.
And I understand it. And that's my biggest anger and fear today, why I'm turning on fans. Because it'll be the fans that go for the manager and players first. And every time they do that, they let the Glazers off. Because what happens during the Ollie in, Ollie out era, the Jose in, Jose out era, is we stop focusing on the actual problem at the club. What you get, and I'm going to call people out because they've been on the show, I'm not being in a horrible way, Johnny will say, I know the Glazers are a problem, but the biggest problem is Ollie. And it's just a nonsense. And this is what gets said. And the Glazers for a decade now have got away with this kind of stuff time and time again. People, look, we're going to go to some of your calls now. We're going to start taking some calls on the show from you.
Terry, I'm gonna have to head off.
All right, then, bro.
Go back to my barbecue. Sounding a bit more exciting and talk about Man United.
We're going to take some calls from you guys now. We've got some super chats first. First one here says, United literally got breastfed by Brentford. That's how bad today was. United just experienced PDSM, tied up and dominated by Brentford. Listen, I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
No.
Clint here says, I asked the question. I'm going to put some callers in for a moment, and then I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm not going to speak to the callers. I'm going to mute your lines and come to you in a second. I asked the question, how was United's transfer window? What did you think? Need to learn to get your business done early. Leave it late equals PR spin. Listen, I don't even think it's about leaving it late. This is players who are not, this is beyond the transfer window. Again, that's one element, and I agree with you. It's bigger. If we'd have signed, by the way, if De Jong was here and Sesko was here, today would still have happened. In my opinion, it still would have happened in this way. Concern for United as a Chelsea fan, the players don't seem to want to play for the club anymore. Bunch of overpaid geezers like Princess Ronaldo.
You know what it is? It's not even that they don't want to play. We're literally Frankenstein's monster. If you look at the whole team from front to back, they're all built to play different systems. De Gea and Maguire aren't built to play in the same system. Martinez and Luke Shaw aren't built to play in the same system. Ronaldo, the whole midfield ain't built to play in the same system. Ronaldo, Sancho, and Rashford, they're all built to play different systems. So is there any surprise that none of it works?
Exactly. Chelsea got rid of 100 million Lukaku and 50 million Werner. Why can't United get rid of Maguire, McTominay, and other dross? It seems like you guys want to keep them. The club does. I honestly think this is what it comes down to. We paid 80 million. We're only going to get 40. That's too big of a loss. Therefore, he stays. It's Glazeronomics. But again, the Glazers spend loads of money, so they're great, right? Bro, this sunshine is shameless to the teeth. He was just defensive about De Gea just last season. Listen, I think it's one of these things where, like, some people will be defensive to him, and then I'll be angry this time round. It just is what it is. Like De Gea, though, for me, it's one mistake too far now.
And opinions can change.
Yeah, of course they can. Chelsea got rid of Lukaku and they got criticised. Yeah, but listen, there's criticism from rivals bantering you, and then there's doing the right thing by getting rid of a player. Like, don't confuse banter with real football analysis, my friend. Joe here says, I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but I'm missing something. Why is it Glazers out? Is it because the players you are buying? I see Sancho, Pogba, Bruno, Varane have been bought. What's wrong with that? It's about the standards. One thing I'd say about anything Glazer out, forget the money being spent. The money being spent is perfect. It's how they spend it, on who they employ to run the football clubs, and then the standards they set as owners. When it comes to a football terrace production, I own the football terrace. So even if I'm not there, if KJ's running the day and we're late going live, the cameras ain't working, people are turning up late, it's my responsibility still because it's my business. It's my channel. Doesn't matter that I'm on a day off with the kids and KJ's running it and he's done a bad job. This is all hypothetical, by the way. It's my business. Anything that goes wrong at the football club comes back to the Glazers forever. If something happens, like a big business can have something go wrong. You do realize that the CEO at the top isn't aware of all the day-to-day goings on in the factory, the day-to-day going on. Do you think the guy that runs Apple knows what's happening in the Apple store in Westfield, Stratford? No. But if something tragic happens in there, he's accountable or she's accountable still. It's about who runs a club always. It's about who's in charge always. Lepers don't change their spots, Terry. These players are snakes. Said 2 seasons ago they will sabotage any manager. Roy Keane said the same thing. Ignoring the youth once again, Ten Hag won't last. I think it's more than that, but I hear you. I legit thought we were going to lose 7-0. It could have been 11 at one point. Listen, if it wasn't for the heat today and Brentford slowing down to reserve energy because it was so hot, they would have smashed us by more. Thank you to Nima that says, if you could go back to 2013, would you give David Moyes more time and get rid of the players since... No, it's not about David Moyes getting more time. If I could go back to 2013, what I would do is I've got the power to do that. I would stop David Moyes from being allowed to get rid of the entire backroom staff, the scouting system that Fergie had, that just won 13 Premier League titles.
Yeah.
That's what I would stop. That was the beginning of the first mistake. And ever since then, it spiraled out of control.
And if I could, sorry, real quick, if I went back to 2013, I'll instead of getting David Moyes, you look as a well-run club, you look at the squad that you have, you see, okay, we have an aging squad with a winning mentality that knows how to win. This team is perfectly built for A1 Jose Mourinho. You get him in, and them players, they take to him like duck to water. And I promise you, it's a whole different thing. But because the club ain't run well, what do? I don't know. Ask Alex Ferguson. What does Alex Ferguson know? Does he have time to scout for other managers? Do we have a scouting department that's looking for managers? Oh, no, don't worry. We'll just ask Alex Ferguson. He'll know what to do. Carry on.
No, I hear you, bro. Blaze here, sorry, says CR7 has to leave regardless of the performance because any decision about him brings unwarranted heat, and we are expecting Maguire to tweet to be released. Man United is like someone trying to put a brand new Mercedes engine into a car from 1999. Ten Hag won't save your club, but getting rid of dead wood as fast as possible will. It's shocking to watch United crumble like this. Listen, if we'd have got rid of Ronaldo and Rashford after they're flirting, it sends a message across the dressing room that you're not safe. You've got to play hard to be here. That's what you got to do. That man is brave for wearing a zebra jersey. How much investment do you think is needed, Terry? Forget investment. Listen, I'd love to see no money taken out of the club. We spend enough generally. That isn't it. It's about running the club well. Standards first. That's what needs to come first, my friend. But this squad needs maybe 250, 300 million pounds. Look how much Arsenal have spent nearly $500 million to get to where they are. It's going to take that kind of money. Poor Ericsson survived the heart attack and made a miraculous return to football just a step down from Brentford. Listen, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Should United do an all or nothing? Absolutely not. I don't want that to be exposed on television. That would be an absolute madness to see that exposed on television. Can you imagine how bad Man United would look if we did an all or nothing? I want to go to some more calls here. We're going to come back to some of these super chats a little bit later. Pav is with us now. What are you saying, Pav?
Boy, doesn't look good for us, man. I already predicted before the game. I bet against Man United to lose. I put in a bet that we're going to lose 3-1. It was worse. We lost 4-0. Couldn't even score. Yeah, I mean, I saw your video on Twitter. I feel your anger. Like myself, I don't put myself in that place to get angry like that anymore. We've seen it for many years. Like the fan base continuously put money into this club's not going to change. I told you a couple of days ago, I guarantee it that stadium will probably be near full for that Liverpool game, and we'll get slaughtered 5, maybe 6. Who knows? Then we've got Southampton, Leicester, Arsenal. Can't see us taking more than a point out of them 3 games. I thought Arnold was sitting there in that stadium. Mate, you ain't got a clue what you're doing, bruv. Like, you and Murta can go. I told you, Terry, at the start of this transfer window, I said I'd give him time, but I don't trust him at all. And in my opinion was right. They can't be trusted. I don't know what our scouting system is. You're right about Ten Hag. He should resign. I even was saying that the man should have just walked off the dugout. Watching them players not playing for him, not playing for the fans. They're a disgrace. And I've backed David De Gea for a long time because this guy's been a soldier for the club. But what you've been doing, and it's not the first time, like the ball slipping from your hands and all that, mate. Like one of these days, the club got to make a decision on him because we can't do that. And it's not just him. There's other players. I mean, it's taken less than 2 weeks for the butcher of Amsterdam to come in and to be turned into the Argentine's Hornswoggle. I don't know if you know him. He's like a midget wrestler in the WWE, bruv. But yeah, it's taken less than 2 weeks. I thought would have come in, been decent, but the club's that low that any signing we're bringing in, whether it's Ericsson, their confidence is gone. Malacia is probably going to be next. Honestly, I can't stand any of these players. I don't know where we go from it because you say it every week. We say it every week. There's plenty of people come on here and say it. Stop giving them the money. And I want to call out one YouTuber who's a disgrace to the fan base. His name is Mark Goldbridge. So someone super chatted him yesterday. You need to get all the Man United fan channels together to do something. Man come out and said that he's the biggest fan channel. No one needs to be around him. Every other fan channel is irrelevant. That if any other supporter groups want to work with him, why do they need to bring in the other fan channels? Because they are irrelevant. That's his words. Now, a person like that, when we're trying to get the Glazers out and you're making it about yourself, telling other people that their channels are irrelevant, you are a fucking disgrace. And that man should be nowhere near that fucking club because he will make things about himself. And we need to get these owners out, and you got pricks like that just fucking making it about himself, calling people irrelevant. They shouldn't be involved in this takeover bid, getting themselves involved. Mate, do yourself a favor and piss off, man. You play up for the cameras, man, and you're just putting people down. You've been doing it over the years. People know what you are. But yeah, I just wanted to call him out for that. I mean, I've watched his videos. I think I think the guy's funny, but you literally you put people down, and mate, you can't be around that. But other than that, mate, I've got nothing else to say because I'm down and I'm literally in the mud. This club's put us all in the mud, and there's nothing that we can do or say other than stop giving them the money. And we're doing that already. It's just other people. Have other people got the willpower? Have they got the strength to stop that? I don't know.
Listen, Pav, listen, I appreciate your call. I do. And listen, as I say, I haven't heard Mark Goldbridge say that, but you're a caller, no echo chambers. You're entitled to say what it is you want. Listen, Pav, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. I appreciate it, bro. Cool. Thank you. I will say this about what Pav has said. This is about fans trying their best. I mean, people will call this ironic because I've been having a go at fans tonight, going to games, wearing kits and doing this. But as I've always said, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Equally, though, I'm going to call you out if I think what you're doing is wrong. But I don't have any animosity towards people that do it. I just don't want to hear you moan about it whilst contributing. It's never been a thing that makes any logical sense. If Goldbridge has said that the rest of the channels are irrelevant, that's on him. We all disagree. Stephen Howson clearly isn't an irrelevant content creator, as an example, nor's Adam McCullough. And there was many of the other top Man United people out there. But
and the terrace.
Look, we are what we are. I never speak about myself in that way, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But there we go. You know, and again, Mark's entitled to his opinion, the same as everybody else. Fixer has been added to this now, but I want to speak to Nabil first of all, please. What are you saying, Nabil?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. What are you saying?
Man, this was embarrassing. Like I was crushed to look at what United was doing in the first half. It was embarrassing. I didn't even watch second half. But you guys said everything that I wanted said, but I have one thing to say. The biggest problem of Manchester United is fans. At certain point, you need to take responsibility of your actions. I say time and time again, if you guys get United, Glazer will not last 2 years. And it's like people are just so arrogant, whether it's they're taking route A, route B, they have the same thing. You have a same goal. That is Glazers out. Set aside your differences and look at what disgusting performance we are looking at. It's because of the owners. It's because of the players. Eric Ten Hag is not responsible for this match. It's the players, it's the owners, it's the fans. Fans needs to wake up and be united against the Glazers. If they do that, setting aside their differences, Glazers will not last 6 months to 2 years, I can guarantee. But they have egos, they have competitions. And there was a post when I saw Glazers out, but we are calling all the true fans that we know, and we know and you know us. What that's supposed to mean? Homegoing fans, yes, they are part as much as the people are all around the world. They need to come together and fight, because with this ownership, I said time and time again, change the managers as long as you want, change the players as long as you want, as long as Glazers are in the ownership of Manchester United, you are not winning a single trophy, whether it's FA Cup, whether it's English Premier League, or whether it's Europa League, or whether it's Champions League. They are not winning shit. And I can guarantee you that as long as Glazers are in the ownership, nothing is going to change.
Listen, I totally understand where you're coming from. Nabil, thanks for calling in, mate, and having your say. We're going to go to a rival here. Chelsea OG is here with us. What are you saying, mate?
Oh, Lord. Yes, what you man saying? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, what's in your mind? What do you want to say,
No,
bro?
I didn't think so. No, man, I'm just thinking, like, you said it earlier, I think, on your Twitter, when you were ranting on Twitter in half-time. Basically, you said this country, innit? You said something to this country. I was thinking, if this was another country, like, I feel like seats will get ripped off and taken home. You know, them ones, like, I feel like there'll be a next physical move. Like, the maximum we could do in this country is shout and walk about, which is a protest. Like, you know, unless they do something physical. No, I'm not, you know, inciting any fight club stuff. But at the same time, I'm shocked the fans haven't done something extreme, because I thought there was like a small section of United fans that was similar to like the Madristas that were just, you know, loco for this club. But it seems like they're all timid in the end.
Yeah, well, I said it at the last protest. When you know the protest, the protest where they got the Liverpool game called off. I said it. I said, well done. Now you do that. If you do that to every single game, they'll sell.
Like the Italians.
Yeah, you just do it to every single game and they would sell. And the reason they would sell is because what would happen is the TV companies and the police and the sponsors would start knocking on the door and saying, we're going to hold the money back. The share price would drop. People wouldn't want to invest, but it takes actual energy. Now, I'll get behind it and help, but I know nobody else is going to do it because I've tried to do it.
You might get nicked for what needs to be done.
But you wouldn't be nicked. There's nothing they did on the day was you could be nicked for. On the day, though, someone at Man United opened the door to let me in. They didn't break in. The door was open.
Oh, okay, all right.
No one's going to get nicked for that kind of thing. They're not going to nick 75,000 people either. But this is the thing. Even on socials today, people are calling me out. You don't even go to games. How dare you say match-going fans don't go? I gave my season tickets up in protest against the Glazers. I don't go to games because I won't fund them. I don't buy kits because I won't fund them. So it's not that I don't do it and I'm preaching to people that do. I did do it. I was one of them. And I went, I just remember I was on my way home from a terrible defeat. And I want to say it was against Fulham. It might have been against Spurs. It was a team that played in white. And I remember just being on the bus and we were all talking on this bus on the way home. And I was like, why are we giving a man money? Some guys are like, what do you mean? I said, why are we doing this? Like, we sat here for like 3 hours on this bus on the way home, complaining and moaning and angry at how the club is run. And I said, why are we giving them our money? Well, we're fans. I mean, yeah, but you've just, I was not calling anyone, they're friends of mine. I was like, but you've just said they only care about our money. So we take our money away, we can make them pull it away. And everyone on the bus, like, yeah, this will work. We'll speak to this fan group and these people. Literally about 8 of us were the only, like 8 of us between us and 3 other supporters groups gave up our tickets. Everybody else just carried on going. Like, and I was like, and I get it. For some people, that day out going to Man United is what their whole week evolves around. And I understand them not wanting to pull away. My view is just different. I care about how the football club is run, and I can't give these terrible owners my money because I feel like I'm perpetual. I feel like everyone that gives money to the Glazers is throwing petrol on the fire. That's how it feels to me personally. And I had a good conversation with one guy whose friends were threatening to beat me up over my comments that people should give it to me. He said we had a nice amicable conversation. He was like, but I love the club. And he was a very sensible guy. I said, but you're misconstruing love. I love the club, but I don't believe giving them my physical and financial support is loving them right now. I feel like I'm making a bad situation worse. I think walking away, and he said, I said to him, but what if I didn't get my season ticket back? I said, yeah, but think about this. This is how we should be talking to people about it. If you gave your season ticket after 40 years up and couldn't get it back when things were better, the sacrifice you've made for the club is more important than any game you ever go to. That's how I view it, as opposed to, did you get where I'm coming from? But that's what I think.
That's true.
That's what I think needs to happen here. And look, a lot of people in the comments were like, "Yeah, this is on your players today again." I'm seeing it isn't. We've got Niall with us. Niall, I think you're a United fan. What do you want to say?
I'm just going to keep on saying this. If you ignore the youth, you will fail. And you will keep on failing. Because you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Amen.
So I'm saying this to everyone. Write this season off. If he doesn't write this season off and play the fucking youth, he will fail.
Yeah,
every manager. We have players in the team that have been there for 8 years, 5 years. What the hell? It's time to play the kids. It's time to build a squad on them. That's what I'm tired of. And this whole club was built by youth. And we've been ignoring this for years. So listen, I'm tired of this.
I hear you. I hear you on this, my friend, and I get why you're tired, and I totally get where you're coming from. It's almost this element of at least these kids will go out there and put a shift in, and at the very least, and we all know this as fans. Man United aren't getting back to the.
But you also build on them. They're the ones that you build on. So, like, let's say you bring in the likes of James Gardner or who else, Ethan Ledge, whoever. You build on them and you get the key players that you need to fit around them. That's what you do. It could be whoever it is, if it's Frankie de Jong to come in as a key player. But you build on those. They are your backbone, your bread and butter. And you're ignoring them. Everybody's ignoring this. What we're doing is constantly is bringing in big names that nobody gives a that just to sell shirts, just to make a headline, and they end up they don't want to be here. They don't care about the club. They have nothing to do with it. So your bread and butter. Alex Ferguson didn't played the youth, and his downfall was when he started ignoring the youth. When he started playing the 92 squad to milk it to death, that was the downfall.
Listen, Alienate, I hear where you're coming from, my friend. I appreciate your call, you coming on and having your say. Top man, thank you.
It was a downfall.
Sorry,
I know what he's talking about there. Towards the end of Fergie's career, the irony was we didn't move on from some of our stars, but we didn't move on from them stars because we didn't invest in the right people. It was Glazeonomics kicking in. I need to get through these super chats, boys. Sorry, let me speed through these. He was picking Maguire. I've already had that one there already. Sorry, thank you. 100%. If relegation gets these owners out, I'm on board. Only we were successful between 05 and 13 was Sir Alex Ferguson. Until the Glazers are gone, we will never win again. We've got no words, I've got no words, literally no words. Where do we go from here?
Liverpool.
That's what's this is going to get even more painful, people. Liverpool are going to rip us a new one.
Yeah, but don't say relegation. Don't mention the R word. That's just out of. There's no need to say that.
No, I think there is. Terry, sorry, Terry. Kaz, the United fans on your show always slag off clubs like Arsenal. Still, though, feel sorry for you. You're an excellent fan. Thank you, my friend. Sancho will leave next summer. I expect all the good players to leave Man United. You're right, Juan. For my fellow supporters, stop watching this team. It will help your mindset. For Ten Hag, please resign. My club is the club. This club doesn't deserve you. African here says, no need to panic. Arsenal was in the same place last season and we came back. Ten Hag needs to use the same lineup. What I would say is this, is that you guys are making changes behind the scenes. Manchester United haven't done that. Nav here says, should United do all or nothing? I've already answered that. Absolutely not.
No.
In the words of Donald Trump, come to Old Trafford next week. It's going to be wild. Imagine the protest will be crazy next week. Well, this is not. I want the game called off. That's how crazy I want it to be.
Thanks.
Terry can bring on rivals. Listen, I share the link with everyone to call in. I don't know where the Football Terrace community is today. They're not even around. I put it in the Tom Little's here actually. Plus OG's arrival too. Terry, when will we accept Fergie's competency in the Glazers scam? How was everyone speaking against the Glazers, but Fergie remains silent? Listen, I can understand that to a degree. However, Fergie is a man 80 odd years of age, had major health issues. I'm not looking to Fergie to do anything for this club. He did enough. The fans run this. The fans should do something. This is the crazy thing. I don't need Sir Alex Ferguson to tell me that it's raining outside. I don't need Sir Alex Ferguson to tell me what's wrong with my football club. I don't need Gary Neville. I don't need Sky Sports presenters. I don't need journalists. I can just read and look at it myself. It's obvious. Fans need to stop being, and I'm talking about you, Kevin, specifically. Fans have got to stop needing influencers to make them do things. Do things you want to do. Get out of this psychological prison that people put themselves in with conformity. Like, do what you think is right. You don't need Sir Alex to tell you what's going on, bro. EPL might ban leverage buyouts. I mean, it's too late, but yes, they will. But they are going to ban them. Didn't Ten Hag do his research on the club plus the Glazers? Listen, Ten Hag's going to end up doing what every manager does, the same as a lot of ladies do what I'm about to describe as well. He's a really nice guy. If I could just change these couple of things about him, he'll be perfect. I'm going to get rid of him and try and change him. Thanks. Managers do that. Managers go, I think I can get the best out of this thing here. And they never do. All of England should hate the Glazers for shitting all over the history of English football. Listen, rivals are never going to stand up for other people's clubs, but they should, because if bad owners are allowed to persist, eventually they come to your club as well.
Really?
They will eventually at some point they come to your club, and we should care about the history and the heritage of our game here.
That's true.
Like, football wouldn't exist around the world like it does if it wasn't for these clubs that were originally built in this country. It's where it stemmed from. People hate hearing that, but it's the truth. If you love football, you shouldn't want to see football clubs mistreated, because they're especially the originators of the game. These are the reason that the game exists, and there should be an element of respect. But I get rivals are never going to do that. Goldbridge didn't say that. He said he tried to help them out and they didn't want him involved. That's why he said he's the biggest channel. Listen, I didn't it wasn't me that said he did or didn't say it. A caller said it. There it is. Thank you for clarifying. The share price was dropping, especially after Team Viewer decided not to renew. That's his good news. And Terry, bro, I feel you. Up the Chelsea tomorrow. And Ten Hag here says, why don't you give up covering United to give less clicks and exposure? Listen, if I stop talking about the Glazers, there'd literally be only like 2 other content. No one else in the world would be doing it, barring one other content creator. Like if I'm not doing it, no one is. No one talks about the Glazers. Trust me, go to everyone else's pages tonight, their Twitter accounts. It's all going to be about McTominay, Maguire, Rashford, Ten Hag, Lissandro Lannister. That's what it's going to be about. You can't get Chuck. Sorry, you just can't. Sorry, you can't just chuck on an 18 and expect him to do bits. We've got to develop them. Yeah, there's balance within it, is what the guy was saying, my friend. But thank you. Tom Little's here. He's a Liverpool fan. What are you saying, mate?
Honestly, you know what? Every time you lose, a little part of me gets vindicated. All them years of pain you caused me slowly get vindicated. Oh, it is just so good. The best part about today was it was all just in a spell. And it was all down the left-hand side. Lisandro Martinez, the butcher, the man who's going to shore up the defence, got ran rings around by Ivan Toney and Brian Mbuemo. God knows what's going to happen when him and Luke Shaw rock up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah and Harvey Elliott on Monday. God knows what's going to happen then. Your entire defence shambles. Christian Eriksen in the 6. Man's brought on there to retain the ball and couldn't handle a press. Jensen, you signed the wrong Danish midfielder from them. Jensen was the one running the show today. Christian Eriksen was all over the place. Couldn't play a pass. The worst part, the second goal, is the most confusing thing I've ever seen. You've got a goal kick, and all that's happened for the goal kick is the centre-back is taking the goal kick to pass to the goalkeeper. You went back a step. You went back a step on your goal kick. You've got one of the worst goalkeepers at distributing the league anyway. Why are you trying to make him distribute it? You sold one of the better. You've loaned out one of the better ones, and you've kept David De Gea. What was the point? He's cost you at least 2 goals today. He cost you a goal against Brighton. It's not good enough at this point. It's just not good enough. But I'm all for it. Us next week, and I know if you got after that, it can't. I don't even know what it is after that. It's probably going to be another 4-0.
I just want to say as well, this is from Sky Sports, Jamie Carragher. I want to read this out. They've spent billions of pounds on the team. They keep spending money on the players. You can't keep blaming them. Defending the Glazers on Sky Sports. And that is why rivals and a lot of United fans who don't maybe get involved in content creating, don't read more, go, oh yeah, they're right. It's not on them, is it? Well, yes. If I spend £100 million on the wrong player that doesn't fit the profile of the manager that comes in, and then sack that manager because I didn't buy him the right players to make his system work, and then bring a new manager in that none of these players fit, and then buy him the wrong players. It's not about spending. This is what's mad about it. It's not about. This is what annoys me about Sky Sports at the minute, and I'm going to sound like I'm bitter, like as it isn't me. I see a lot of United content creators on there, and I don't see any. Barring Flex, I've seen Flex do this. Barring Flex, I don't see anyone bring this up. No one, like on the Saturday social shows in the morning, they've got United fans on there. No one's challenging this bullshit they keep putting out. Maybe it's because Sky have got a good relationship with the Glazers, just like Gary Lineker has. Gary Lineker always defends them. He's a friend of theirs. Maybe they're all in cahoots. Man United fans have got to stand up against bullshit. Yeah,
but it's never in the newspapers either. I don't ever see an agenda against the Glazers on the end of the back pages on the top papers.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? It's because it isn't what sells. Being angry with the Glazers doesn't sell. What they want is Man United fans attacking Martinez today. They want Man United fans going after the manager because that's sexy, it's funny, it's all, and it makes more sense because you see it when you go after the Glazers. And you're like, why? Yeah, I don't like how they leveraged the buyout of the football club and the amount of dividends they're taking. A lot of the public go, "What did he just say?" They don't get it. It's being horrible. It's hard. Yeah. I don't understand half the things I read about it. And that's why they go, right, but what's the low-hanging fruit? What's simple? What's basic? The manager, that player. This is where United fans have got to get out the psychological prison. Get rid of these people. We get rid of them. New ones come in and the same problems persist. It's crazy.
There was a guy that broke it down, the Glazer buyout thing. He broke it down on, I think it might have been Sky Sports. I think it was on like a news segment or something like that. And he explained it perfectly for those of people that are confused about why United fans are angry about the Glazers. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll go check it out. It explains it perfectly, and I couldn't put it.
Yeah, he did a very good job of explaining it, and it was sort of like it's not. I keep repeating this. I'll repeat it every day for the rest of my life if I have to. It's not about the amount of money spent. It's how they run the football club. like I always say, you know, it just is what it is. Terry, I'm sorry, your club is a mess. Hopefully, better days to come. Just follow the Milan way, do the youth movement, and the young ballers will
That's
ball
never
out.
going to happen. It's not
Yeah,
possible
it's
for
not
the
gonna
Glazers.
happen, man.
The Glazers are only in it for the money. So why would they bring in youth players who don't sell shirts, who don't
Well,
bring in their own commercial revenue? It doesn't make sense. That's never going to happen. While the Glazers are in charge of United, expect to see another £30 million big name coming who's past his pomp. Adrian Rabiot's coming in now. What's the point of Adrian Rabiot? Even Juventus don't want him.
What if he does
Juventus
well,
are a better
though?
state than you. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It is. This just remember, Ollie was getting top 4 with this squad. He was, but Arsenal weren't as good as they are now. Chelsea were going through transition. They had Lampard, and Spurs didn't have Conte. They were failing under Jose and Nuno. And this is what happens, though. It's not. Listen, some people misconstrued my words today as defending Ollie. Go, oh, you're saying we shouldn't have sacked him. No, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been sacked. I was saying to people, I wanted to see Ollie sacked and a manager come in that picks up Ollie's squad and goes to the next level. As soon as they went, as soon as you heard Ragnick come out with, we need an overhaul. How the Glazers are telling us they want us to play football. This squad needs open heart surgery. I panicked, not because Ragnick was wrong, but because we never complete rebuilds. They told us, if you actually go back and read what they said on Ollie's exit, it was, we've built something ready to win. Ollie just couldn't get over the line. The next thing they do is bring in Ralph, who says, no, we're going to undo it or do something different. The Glazers kind of went along with it until Ragnick stepped out of line. They got rid of him. And now we're starting all over again. What we'll do again is we'll build it to a point where maybe we start making top 4. Maybe we start looking good. And then something, I don't know what yet, will happen. And it will go backwards again. And we'll have another new manager comes in and says, I need 15, 16 new players. And that's why we spend lots of money, because we're always rebuilding something new. It's like me saying to you guys, I'm going to promise to build all of you 3 a house. And I've spent £3 million building you a house. But you never get to live in it because I never finish the damn thing. I knock it down and start all over again. I might be spending loads of money on a house for you, but if you haven't got one to live in, it's pointless. It's pointless.
Yeah, but listen, there's one other thing that can save you. Just like that house analogy you were saying. What if one day you're rebuilding that house and oil spirits up? You guys need a superstar out of nowhere. You need a Henry-esque, like Rashford 3.0, 4.0, like the lawnmower, bro. You need a superstar to come out of nowhere and just take United.
You know what? But listen, PSG are willing to spend 60+ million on Rashford and pay him huge money. They see, like Campos is our proper director. If any of our clubs sign Campos as a director of football, we'd be buzzing, right? He looks at Rashford and goes, player. By the way, the second in command at PSG, Mbappe sees player as well, right? But the point I'm making is Mbappe is someone our fans hate. Why? Because our failure has made us hate on him. Has he been good in the last year? No. But suddenly, one of the best directors of footballers in the world, one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the best squads in the world, wants him. We could find the next Messi. We would turn that fucker into Stuart Down.
You guys had Ronaldo, fam.
I think that's Stuart Down. He was consistent.
Consistently bad.
You guys remember when Fernandes first came, like his first 6 months at United?
Bro, I thought he was better than Lampard when he first came.
That was our gold dust. That was the guy. It was like Salah at Liverpool. It was like, oh my God, look at the goals, the contributions. And look at him today. He was dog shit today. And Brighton. And the
when was the last good Rashford? Not Rashford. When was the last good Bruno performance?
This is what I'm saying. He died.
One way you see him drag that team through games. When you look at your marquee player, it doesn't add up. Bruno Fernandes cannot be a marquee player. The
last good performance he had, we drew the game. But when we played Villa, he scored 2 goals. He was very good in that game. But again, he's gone. But then this is what happens with Man United fans. We do the Glazers bidding. Some people never liked Bruno, and his downfall was seen as their opportunity to go, see, I was right. Rashford's downfall, see, I was right. The irony in it is that most people that hate Rashford and Bruno love Pogba and Martial, and all they were really doing was getting their own back on their players that had also fouled. And I'm looking at these fans doing it, and you guys are all regulars on the terrace. You know, I've been saying this. I'm like, you guys are all Glazers. You're all covering up the real issues at the club. It isn't that Martial and Rashford and Bruno and Pogba are awful football players. How do we know this? Because of the other clubs that are interested in them or had been interested in them in the past. Then you've got to go back to the first time we nearly got rid of Martial under Jose. The likes of Liverpool and Arsenal were circling for him because he was so talented, interested. Like, we haven't bought bad players. We'll run badly. The system is awful, and we erode everything good at our football club. We are rotten. Rack's here. What are you saying, Rack?
Hey mate, yeah, I'm good. Look, what can I say? It's been a good afternoon. As a Liverpool fan, I can see Tom giving us double thumbs up there. It is a glorious, glorious moment to see United in the mud. I was chatting with one of my fellow Liverpool fans, and I was thinking about, even when we were really at our worst, were we ever this low? United lost 4-0 3 times last season and 5-0 once. I don't think, even like in the Hicks and Gillette days, even in the Hodgson days, I don't think we fell that low. So
no.
yeah, it's kind of looking a little bit peak for United.
We just used to lose 1-0 to everyone. We just used to lose
1-0
to everyone. That was what we used to do. We just used to lose 1 or 2-0, not 4 or 5.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting is Thomas Frank gave an interview after the game saying that they targeted Martinez, and I know. Look, it's easy to say about having a short central defender is problematic, but I think you've got to have real concerns when you're targeting when you're playing a centre back or buying a centre back that short. I think it's 5'9", something like that. I know you're a bit of a stats guy. Go and check out on the Premier League website how many because I remember last season someone was saying, the Premier League these days isn't like it was back in the day where people used to hoof it up and all that kind of stuff. There's 3 times as many headed goals in the Premier League now versus 30 years ago. Aerial balls, set pieces, goals from heading type positions are massive nowadays, massive. And United buying Martinez and Chelsea when they originally targeted Koundé, I thought that could potentially be a weakness for them. I mean, for Chelsea, it looks like obviously Koundé's gone to Barca, so it's not such a problem. But people will target Martinez.
I look at it this way as well. Like, I didn't really, again, 2 games running, it wasn't really him. I mean, I know a goal was conceded by a header, but Ben Mee was on the floor. That was timing as opposed to his height, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think the mistake isn't even so much his height. It's we're throwing him into the Prem. He hasn't adjusted. Now, sometimes new players like Zinchenko, new players like Jesus, throw him straight into the team. Sometimes players like Bruno Fernandes come in, you throw him straight into the team. But look at the majority of international players that Jurgen Klopp signs, slowly bled into the team to find their feet. Starting Martinez in these opening 2 games, he hasn't kept up with the pace of the Premier League. That's been, and the physicality of it. He should have been on the bench. You start with Maguire and you start with Varane, and you bring him on at the right time in game. Get him used to it. You start him off against some of the legitimately lesser teams, the ones that are that are weaker, maybe in the League Cup. Bring him into the Europa League games. Let him get used to it. That's a mistake by Ten Hag. There's no problem. But the reason that mistake exists is because this manager has no faith in the ball playing ability of the other centre backs at the club. So it's almost rock on a hard place. But
is Maguire better ball playing centre back than Varane? Was Varane fit today? Because obviously I know he came in the second half. I don't know what's going on there.
No one does. No one knows why. No one knows. No one knows why he's on the bench. But I think it's his injury proneness. I think that's the issue. And he's clumsy, Varane. He really is clumsy.
And
there is something to talk about though with Martinez, especially like as much as today. We can all sort of admit he was bullied a little bit by Ivan Toney. Anytime it was there for a 50-50, Ivan Toney was winning it. Ivan Toney's only about an inch taller. Imagine what he's going to do when he comes up against like a Nunez or a Haaland or a Skamaka who dominate him in every sense of the word. And they're just going to target him. That's the thing, they're just going to target him. All the top teams target centre-backs.
But it's about pace though, because I remember one of the worst sales we made at Man United was Daley Blind. We shouldn't have sold him. When Daley Blind was playing at centre back under LVG, that guy was really good, but he didn't have any athleticism. Now, you don't need to be the biggest to not be dominated. It's about positioning and timing. So I don't think it's a physical thing per se. I think it's about the pace and the power of the league. So many foreign players come here, and they are shocked. They're like, fucking hell! I didn't think it was going to be like this. And it is. And I know that triggers some Premier League fans. Are like, well, you're saying English people are faster and stronger. Like, no, bruv. 70% of the league ain't English. Like, I'm just saying the way we different. And nearly every single international player that comes comments on it. So I think the mistake from Ten Hag has been starting him. We've got to give him time. You've seen a little Malacia as well. He's tiny. Like you start him. Like I would at left back. I'd rather start him than the centre back for now. But we'll see what happens. Sorry, Dizzy, you were going to say something.
And the other problem is Luke Shaw is constantly out of position. So if you, it's easy to target the left centre back when your left back is out of position because there's always a 2-on-1 opportunity there, and then you compound that with the fact that he's smaller than a normal centre back anyway. He's by himself with the striker and whoever's on their right wing. It's obviously always going to be a mismatch, and he's always going to be beaten in the air because he has no assistance.
It doesn't help as well. You don't win a single second ball. So even if he does manage to offset any of the pressure that's brought on him, let's say he does win the duel, you instantly put back under pressure because the opposition's centre mid or the opposition's winger has swooped in, taken the ball, and is now running back at him again. Like United's issues are so deep rooted. It is so deep rooted, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Anytime soon.
I do hear that, boys. Listen, it's been a great show, people. I know there's lots more people backstage. I'm sorry I couldn't take anybody else's calls tonight. I really appreciate everybody's support on the show. I really, really do. Please do me a big, big favor. Smash that like button before you leave and subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. I just want to say real quickly, there's a few more super chats I missed. First one is Man United used to be feared for their defense. They used to be known as to scrap 1 and 2-0 wins. They need to go back to that style of rough and rugged defense. You're wrong, Terry. Rivals chanted Ulster's out whilst Blackpool fans were outside the ground. Yeah, but you're talking about lower level. At the lower level of the food chain in football, fans have each other's backs because they're all small. And barring their match, my brother's an Orient fan. Barring match-going Orient fans, there's about another 100 of them around the world. They don't have very many. So they all have each other's back. It's different at the big clubs. And that's the element that is the element that's lost when you are so big, to be fair. From 2023-24, there is a 5 Champions League spot rule, a helping hand. Yeah, but we're not even in the top.
Hell no.
Man United, we're finishing right now. Listen, I ain't done this. We're going to finish about 10th or 11th. But having said that, I think it's
on coefficient though, Tel. So you might get on an historic performance.
We might. Oh, can you imagine this bad team in the chat? But having said that, I do think we'll beat Liverpool next week. I'm joking. Listen, my people, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Take care.
And I'll see you.